never keep a woman waiting. So we're going to get her right into the chat. Gillian the Savage Robertson.
3 minutes late, and you're hating on Trevor Peek.
I knew you were going to say something about Trevor.
This is all him.
I know, that's what I'm saying. One of the most entertaining fighters to watch. Can you not say that?
I agree with that. So, some of my favorite movies are horrible movies, but it's just like it's a train wreck, so I want to watch it. But that man is not good at mixed martial arts. He's not.
No, but I love to watch him fight.
Okay, I don't disagree. Gee, dude, you and Sunday morning, you and Miss L. Dawson have been absolutely slaying it, killing it Sunday morning brew. So proud. I'm like a proud uncle, dad, just watching you guys kill it every Sunday. You guys are killing it. I don't know how far you went on it. Me and Elle, for the first time, argued live on air, so I'm super happy about this scenario.
So heated.
You were so heated, Elle. Jillian,
I need to calm down.
After a couple of days with the Cejudo song thing, and I don't know if you said this, how should have that fight ended to you?
How should have it ended?
Yeah.
My personal opinion with Henry continuing the fight, but
so okay, you thought Henry still was kind of putting the veteran move of like, hey, I can't see, but maybe he still could have, but not feeling good. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Something about him seemed very, like we talked about it on the Sunday morning brew. Something about him seemed very distracted to me, where he seemed like there was one time he got kicked, like it was like a high thigh shot, and I'm like it. I went back. I tried to watch it. I'm like, the more I watch it, I'm like, it doesn't seem like it hit the cup at all.
Okay.
And it's things like that where he was like already looking at the ref to be like, yo, are you calling things and then I don't know. It was just how he reacted to that eye poke too. I'm like, he wasn't even touching his eye for one thing. I'm like, he was sitting on the floor, just like smiling and looking around. I'm like, I just feel like there was a lot of things around it for me that
I agree. I actually agree with this.
I don't know.
Did you guys see the medical, like him talking about the medical report that came after with the diplopia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So diplopia is a little bit different. It's where like it's so blurry you literally see like two of everything.
No, I think he was
a little bit different than what we normally think of with eye pokes where you can't open your eye. Yeah. So I think that's why he was able to open it, but it did look super red.
Yeah, I agree. It did look super red in the pictures that he posted, but I don't know. I just feel like
not laughing at you, laughing at comments.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Elle was down. We got into it, G. So this is my thing that happened in the fight, G. So he got poked in the eye, end of round 3, 1:10 left. But yes, I give you that 5-minute veteran move, whatever you want to say. He continued the fight. He never said, I can't see. So he continues the fight. After the 3rd round's over, he went to his corner and said, I can't see. Told his cornerman that, told the doctor that, told the UFC, Jason Herzog that, says he can't see. My point of view, and this is just my opinion, when he says, I can't see, the fight's over. Automatically, he's now telling everyone he can't see. If he does that at the end of the 3rd round and they never go into the 4th round, and I know this sucks as a fight fan or as a fighter itself, it becomes a no contest because they don't start the 4th round. So Herzog didn't want it a no contest. He was like, as a ref, he was kind of like smart in the system. He's like, hey guys, if I ring the bell of the 4th round and then say fight's over because you told me I can't see, then we go to the scorecards. But it's like he did it on a technical term. Like, my point is, if you tell me that I can't see and kind of was saying the fight's over, they should have never started the 4th round. That's my opinion.
I guess technically, I can see both sides of it, I guess. I understand why Herzog did start it, trying to just get to a decision.
Yeah,
I feel like the UFC doesn't want to see fights end because of a no contest.
Especially main events.
Yeah, especially a main event. So that's the reasoning I could see. But it's like, I guess physically what happened was a no contest, so it was kind of like going around the rules a little bit.
My one thing, my beef is with the rules, not with Dave. Okay, because I don't think
you ever have a beef with me, Elle?
An option. I think if a fight ends because of an illegal blow, either you can go
I
to the
totally agree with you,
or
on
it's a DQ.
Totally.
I don't think we should ever have no contest. I think they're dumb. I can't think of a scenario where you can't find fault at all.
No, I agree. And you see how Song was fighting? I think it was on Henry's side. They posted a video. So he pokes him with a minute 11 after. So then they show they just show Song. It's really cool how they did it. Like, you know how the UFC has Song in the front and then sometimes it's Cejudo. They switch cameras. They just kept Song on the whole time. Cejudo's camp did. For the last minute, 11 seconds, he had his fingers like this a minute 2 out of the minute 11. It's like, so you just fouled the man with the eye poke. And then there's a minute left, and he had it like this the minute 2 out of minute 11. It's like, you're asking to do it again.
The point should have been taken, right?
100%. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's also something in the rules that's kind of like, so he got that there was a stop for a nut shot and there was a stop for an eye poke, but they don't like add them up together, you know? So it's like, if there's 2 eye pokes, we take a point, or if there's 2 nut shots, we take a point. But if there's 1 nut shot, 1 eye poke, 1 cage grab, you get 1 free one each fight.
Right.
Crazy.
And it should just be, if you break the rules, you get a point taken.
1,000,000% agree. I want more points taken away and more 10-8 rounds. I would be huge on it. I love 10-8s and I want points taken away. I want the scorecard at the end to be like 29-26 somehow. It's like, wait, I want wildness. All right.
I will say I understand the argument that like losing 10 yards in a football game is not as detrimental as losing a whole point in a round.
Agree.
There's a reason that no other sports have like, I guess soccer kind of has warnings, right? They have like a yellow card, a red card.
Yeah. Please don't bring soccer into MMA. Please
take a point. Just take a point.
All right. A couple things I want to go through with G. It's been ever since Sunday, been 3 kind of big things. One thing we even talked off air about last night, but let me go back yesterday. Some breaking news happened with Karate Combat. I saw one of the greatest social media posts ever by President Awesome. I think you guys are knowing where I'm going with this. Bryce Mitchell withdraws from Karate Combat grappling match and says he has a fight coming up. But more importantly, he says he hates how the picture looked and really attacked Karate Combat. President Awesome was unbelievable on the post back. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, I did.
That was one of the best social media posts of the year by President Awesome. It was so good.
His ears and his eyebrows are changed, so it made him look too feminine. And yeah, I don't. Bryce is. I keep on seeing a lot of posts, a lot of memes about it, talking about the power of Josh Emmett's hands.
Dude, you might be right. I never thought about that actually.
No, he was weird before that.
He was, but not like this though.
Maybe, I mean, we could cite Tony Ferguson, right? Tony Ferguson was always kind of weird, but I definitely think the compounded CTE made it like probably a little worse. So maybe my question is what happens here with Bryce Mitchell? Because he's pretty far off the deep end now. Like, do you think he fights again, or do you think he just goes nuts and pulls out of fights until he fights in
the UFC? He's going to lose. They will absolutely give him a bad matchup. He's going to lose. And my honestly think he's cut. I really think the UFC will give him one more so they can say, hey, we did it. But no, now it's all right. That would be, I think it's like 2 out of 3 or 3 out of his last 4 he's lost, and they're going to let him go. That's my 2 cents.
I guess I didn't realize he was on such a bad streak there, losing 3 out of his last 4.
Yeah.
I guess my thought process, it was, I guess essentially that. His name's slipping my mind. He called him out last weekend.
Gene Silva?
Yeah, Gene Silva. I'm like, a fight like that would be spectacular.
He lost 2 of his last 4. I was going to say, because he beat Dan Ige. So he beat Chrome Gracie and Dan Ige, and he lost to Ilya and Josh Emmett.
Okay, my fault. So if he loses to Gene Silva, it's 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cuttable. That's cuttable.
Yeah, and just not. It's more of a. Let's just be honest. We know how the game is played. They're not happy with him, and they can't cut him now because I think there will be some pushback. And Dana White is so pro freedom of speech, but
which I respect his integrity. At least he's the same for everybody on that. You know,
that's what I was gonna say though. That's the only reason why I don't see them cutting him because of this, because they are very pro free speech. And Bryce Mitchell is very much a character because of it. He gets a lot of eyes and a lot of attention because he is so out there.
I will say, I think there's craziness that sells fights and then craziness that just kind of like dulls people's appreciation for you. And he is riding that line. It's a very fine line, and he's riding it pretty hard. So I could see people like just not wanting to see him around anymore as well, you know? Eventually,
I agree.
he continues where he's headed.
Last night, some breaking news of a new fight. We showed this fight poster to you guys yesterday, but now we can talk about it live on air. UFC Montreal gets a female flyweight bout. I think a friend to both of you guys, a friend of the program, Jazz Vicious versus Jessica Andrade, a possibility of a future UFC Hall of Famer, was a champion. Big fight for Jazz, guys. Really big fight.
Yeah.
I think it's her biggest matchup yet, but I also think Jazz has just been on a run lately, and I think this is a good matchup for her. And I think we're going to see 2 Canadian champs soon, you know? That's all I'm saying.
Ooh, let's go. Dude,
who's the other Canadian champ?
Ouch, Dave.
I didn't mean that.
Okay, so here's my thing with Jessica Andrade. Girl cannot pick a weight class.
I know.
Her last, 5-6 fights, we've been like 115, 120, or 115, 125, 115, 125. Obviously, her last one was 125 as well, but I think that's never good, you know? And I'm wondering if it's just that she's not big enough for flyweight, but she's older and the cut is just too tough.
Yeah, I think it's more of that. And I think they're setting up Jazz for a win, and you kind of need that nice veteran name. You know, I think it's a good win for Jazz. It's good for the resume, her moving forward, and so on and so on. So
it's the name that built Tatiana Suarez up to a title shot that, looking back now, she probably wasn't quite ready for. So I agree. I think it's a huge notch in Jazz's belt with this if she beats Jessica.
Man, I can't believe I forgot G's the Canadian thing. I'm telling you.
That is rude.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
Dude, I just it totally went over my head. I'm like, G's a Florida girl. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh yeah, it was my fault.
Just rude.
I know. Gee, it's been a bad day for me. Yeah. Also, UFC 315. We don't have a fight poster for it yet, but Jose Aldo's on it. His last name is Ziem. Yeah, dude. How good is Jose Aldo's the best? Like, he's the best.
Ageless wonder. I swear.
You guys, have you seen who he's fighting? Ziem? Who do you think? Right after your first rip, who do you guys have?
Yeah, he's fighting Amin, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, Amin Zahabi. That's a good matchup. I like how Zahabi's been looking lately. He beat Basharat, I believe, his last fight. Correct?
Looking it up?
I just remember watching him fight.
Pedro. Basharat was before that.
Before that,
Pedro last. Yeah.
Yeah, both his last fights have really impressed me with how he's looked. And I think, I don't know, I'm very interested in this matchup.
I'm too. My first take, I think Jose gets it done. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm ever going to pick against him. It could be Jose Aldo versus Ilia Topuria. I got Jose. I'm sorry. I'm that guy.
I'm torn. I think it depends totally on stylistic matchups. Like, Jose still, as proof from the Merab fight, still has just some of the best takedown defense in the game ever in any weight class. And so it's like, he's one of those guys where it's very difficult to beat him in a striking battle, you know, unless you have the grappling to, like, Mario Batista. I know not everybody loved that fight. It wasn't the most exciting, but he nullified a lot of what Jose Aldo is able to do. I don't know if Zahabi can do that stylistically or not, you know? Yeah, so I'm torn on this one.
Good point. A good comment in the thing, but we'll wait 1 second because I got one more fight poster, and I think G will like this a lot. Looks like this will be the headline of UFC Iowa on Gillian Robertson's card. Davison Figueiredo versus Corey Sandhagen is the headliner. G, do you like it? Are you intrigued? Or do you have a side already? That's a great fight. I love that fight for a fight night main event.
Yeah, I honestly, I was looking at the card yesterday, and there's actually a lot of decent fights on it where I was like, I'm surprised by those names. Yeah. I know Misha and Yana are on the card too.
Yeah.
I'm like, another huge name to be on the card with. With the Figueiredo Sandhagen, though, I like them both. I do. I don't know.
Okay.
Figueiredo's really impressed me at 35. I've really liked the way he moves. Sandhagen's just very smart. And it's another one I'm kind of torn, honestly.
actually agree because everyone I think is down on Figueiredo's last fight because of Jan. But like, guys, watch that fight back. I know Jan won it pretty easily. I think it was like 49-46 in that range. But that was a really good close fight. There was like 1 or 2 rounds that were like razor sharp, and Jan did win those. So I give you that. But like, dude, I'm high on Peter Yan. I think Peter Yan's one of the best 135ers in the last 5 years. So like, that's a great loss. Like he belonged with Peter Yan. And it's weird. I don't know. Like, I feel like Corey Sandhagen is beloved by a lot of MMA fans and had some good runs and some good times. But like, I think I'm leaning Figgy. I'm right now in 2025. I'm leaning the momentum of Figgy. I just think he's gonna like bully him, like big brother him almost.
My reservation from Corey Sandhagen is the way he fought Umar. Even after he knew that Umar can take him down, but not necessarily hold him down, he still was very tentative with his striking. Yeah. So I think this all depends on, well, 2 things. Can Figueiredo keep him down? Which I don't know if he can. Like, Corey Sandhagen has great grappling and he counter wrestles well. But also, has Corey learned from the Umar fight? Because Figgy sometimes waits. You know, he waits for, like, the best shot. And Corey Sandhagen throws a lot of volume, and his in and out and his footwork, like, and his resume is solid too. Like, the dude is losing to Umar, TJ Dillashaw, Aljo, and Piotr Yan. Like,
and that Dillashaw fight was amazing. That was Dillashaw juice to the gills, and it was a split decision.
A lot of people thought he won that fight.
Yeah, that was a really great fight.
I don't have picks for these fights. I'm sorry. I'm no help at all.
We'll get closer. We will get to another comment about the breaking news today, but there's 2 comments in here, and we are putting L. Dawson to the fire right now. L, what's the inside scoop on 316 Kayla Pena? How about the rumor of Kayla Harrison and Pena?
I don't have it. She's told me nothing, I swear.
All right.
I swear. I know that's what she wants. I don't know about that date. I know that's what Kayla wants next. She said so. So,
well, let's just be honest. Like we go through this all the time. It's like kind of a fun game. There's only so many pay-per-views, right? So Kayla Harrison will be on a pay-per-view. I would assume a co-main event of a pay-per-view. I would assume, right? So there's only so many dates. Like the 316 makes sense. Like I don't think she'll co-main event International Fight Week. I don't think. And I think that's a Jones Aspinall or an Ilya Makhachev, right? So like, I don't think she could co-main event that. So like, I hate to say it, 316 makes a lot of sense. It's in the United States and it's in New Jersey. I like it.
I wonder if that's how the rumors come up. It's like, hey, this just makes the most sense. So let's just say it's in the works, and then they usually get lucky.
You know how many in the works are wrong and then they never reviewed it? It's my biggest thing.
I know most of the time.
I know.
I'll ask, do you know how many fights Gamrot has supposedly been signed for in the last 2 months? And I'm like, hey, buddy, you have a fight? He's like, nope.
It's in the works. I say it all the time. Like, I can make a fight poster right now with Ilya Taporia saying it's in the works with Makhachev, Oliveira, Dustin. He's fighting one of those guys. Like, he is going to fight a top 3 lightweight. It's going to happen.
Naturally.
It's in the works. Crazy. All right. One last thing for G. We'll let her run. A future world champion from Canada, by the way, guys. I don't know if you guys know that. I was planning on ordering UFC 313, but so much now since Gaethje and Hooker off. That fight off definitely kills the momentum of that card. All right. So first, let me go to G about the breaking news. Dan Hooker's out. What do you think on that? And who do you think could replace Dan Hooker? And then I'll kind of have a comment on the back end of that.
Well, I think everybody is just heartbroken over this. Come on. Everybody was so excited to see this fight. And I'm definitely heartbroken over it. I've seen just on social media a couple people either speaking out or a couple suggestions where I saw Renato Moicano, Fiziev, and I think Gamrot was the other one that I saw on social media that they were like, it was either they were throwing it out there or he was throwing it out there. But I think that either out of those ones, the Moicano or the Gamrot one seems interesting. Fiziev we've already seen, but I'm like, we talked about last week. I'm like, Gamrot's one of my favorites. I love watching him fight. That'd be an interesting fight.
And we always know he's down for a short notice fight.
That's very true. We made that post. It was a great post. It was a great thing by you, G, saying your favorite fighters. How about another lightweight, G? That at 100 lightweight at American Top Team, he's friends with Moicano. He's friends with Gamrot. He's really good friends with L. Dawson. What do you think about Grant Dawson, short notice fighting Gaethje? 10 days notice?
I mean, that's an insane fight to make.
Let's go.
I'm here for it. I just don't think it's gonna get offered. I think Gamrot or Moicano is gonna get it. Dave, your question that you asked me was if I was gonna get $10 million if I got it right, well, who would I say gets it? If my heart wants it to be Grant, but if I'm getting $10 million if I'm right, I'm probably picking Gamrot or Moicano.
I'll ask you that question too in a second.
Do you guys think Jalen Turner can make weight on short notice? I don't
know.
No,
he's on that card. He's on it.
Already. Oh, that's right. That is the same card. You're right.
Yeah,
he's fighting Ignacio Bahamondes. That actually kind of makes sense. Maybe they scrap that fight if they can't get another replacement.
Torrin, you're born, bro. Grant Dawson dominates people. Get out of here with that jazz, man. Come on. That's just unreal. That's so different.
That's how you get blocked on Fight Bananas.
You're gonna get blocked, Torrin.
Insulting Grant Dawson in front of Dave.
We are a pro Grant Dawson podcast. All right. Last thing, G, we had super fun because of this question I saw in another podcast. It's absolute gold. If I offered you right now $20 million is the yes answer, and if it doesn't go your way, you go to prison for a year, G. So you can make 20 million or go to prison. You have to call someone and they have to answer on the first time. Have to answer. Who's that person you call right now at 2:22 p.m. on a Tuesday? Who do you call?
I'd say Dan Donaldson.
Okay. And he's going to answer.
Yeah, I would say he's the one person I know for a fact. I'm like, every time I call him, he's always answering, like, first call.
There you go.
It's definitely not me for anybody. I'll just put it out there.
We talked about you. Yeah, it's not you. All right. It's not Gillian Robertson.
No.
I know L is my second choice. It's my little brother or L. And I still think I'd probably lean L, but my little brother always answers. He's at work. He's like, hey, dude, I'm at work. What's up? Like, he answers everything. But like, dude, we know a lot of people. Some of our best friends, like I said, dude, my wife, she's the best person ever, but like, she never has her phone on her. She never answers the phone the first time. So it's like, I know it's not her. Dude, L answers 99%. Like, I thought L's my second pick.
If it's important, you'll leave me a voicemail or send a text. That's where I go to.
And then I said, gee, you'll love this. L and you are the exact opposite. When you text me, it's at 5:45 a.m. And L texted me last night at 11:30 at night. I was sworn to sleep. I'm like, this is unbelievable. I woke up in the morning and go, text me at 11:30?
That's rare for me, in my defense. But I also am not up at 5:45. That's not a thing.
It's a curse.
It's a curse. Dude, one of the best. What a good show so far. Jillian, it's been amazing. Can't wait. Sunday. Dude, I'm not going to lie. It's a bad UFC this weekend. It's pretty bad. UFC 103.
I haven't really looked into it too much, I guess. Yes.
It's Kopp and Almabayev, which I actually do want to see that fight. But I do want to see Nasrat and Esteban Ribovic.
Oh, that's a great
I was going to say there was one fight on it I knew that stuck out. It was that one right there.
That fight should be the main event. That fight's amazing.
There's not much else.
Yeah.
Julian Marquez is a friend of ours. He actually was the officiant at my wedding. I'm always going to tune in to watch Julian out of pure bias. I love the guy. And he's also fun to watch.
Is Trevor Peek on the card?
He's not.
Okay.
I think he has a fight coming up, though, I want to say. I saw there's a couple cards up, but he has a fight coming up soon.
Okay.
Charles Johnson's on the card.
I like Charles. He's fun.
Charles
He's
Johnson.
a fun fighter.
Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mariscal should be fun.
Oh, I like Chepe.
Douglas Silva de Andrade versus John Castaneda should be fun. Other than that, it's pretty rough. I will admit it's rough.
Dude, G, you know who's on the card? Who's one of my sworn enemies now? She's actually super nice to me, but she's one of my sworn enemies because of you. I'm pro G. JJ Aldrich is on the card. Are we?
She seems so sweet.
She's such a sweet person. She's very nice, but
she's on our hit list. All right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm like, for me, I'm like, I think I took that fight on like a week's notice or 10 days notice or something like that. I'm like, it is what it is. She, like you said, she's a cool girl. I'm like, I think we trained together once. It might have been after the fight. It might have been before. I'm not sure, but we've trained together once too. I'm like, she's a cool person. So I'm like, I got no issues with her.
So I can hate her for you. I'll do that. You know, we split the record. We split our love and hate for other people. So there we go. Guys, the one and only future Canadian world champion, Gillian the Savage Robertson. See her Sunday morning with Elle Dawson, Sunday Morning Brew.
See you guys Sunday.
She's the best. Oh,
she's still here. Oh.
I do that all the time. I say good things about people and they're still on the show. Wow. Dude, it is 2:30.